Hey there, everyone. Good afternoon from Brazil and wherever you are. Maybe good evening for some. Welcome to another BBE Live. Today, we will talk about I'd say, one of the most special routes that we offer. And it has a special history connected with it because almost 20 years ago, Ciro started guiding this route. He's certainly guided over 120 tours in this area. So it's a place that he knows very well, Ciro Albano, and that we've been running every year, quite a few tours. Last year, I think there was 12 tours to the Northeast, including set departures and tailor-made tours. So I see that there are a few familiar names in the chat already. So the idea of presenting this live to you today is that if any of you happen to have any questions that Ciro for some reason doesn't mention in the presentation, you can feel super free to leave a comment. We'll be writing down the questions. And then when he finishes his presentation, we could go through a few of the questions. Okay. So for those of you who are not subscribed to our channel, it would be nice if you could subscribe. It helps us to grow and to bring more material and to do more lives. So I'd like to call Ciro to the room. And Ciro is also my godfather in this bird watching world. It was about 14 years ago that he trusted his first clients to me. And then after that, we've just been doing tours all over the Northeast. And then 8 years ago, along with Tatiana and many other wonderful guides, we founded Brazil Birding Experts. So thank you, Ciro, very much. I'm excited to watch your presentation, and good luck.
Thank you, Caio. Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. I'm Ciro Albano, and here we are talking about the Northeast Popular Tour. This tour, as Caio mentioned, I've been doing for almost 20 years. I'm right now in the field. I can show you. I am at Serra Bonita Reserve, one of the best places of this tour. It's a fantastic area. So, yeah, it will be very good to share with you a little bit about this part of Brazil. This is where I live, where I'm born, and the place I love. So, next, Fabio. Okay, this tour is, just a little bit about Brazil. Anyway, this tour is 18 days. We call the Popular Tour. These include the most iconic areas of Northeast Brazil. And just to have an idea about the country, the Brazil is, that's all we have in Brazil today. 1,971 bird species. This is not updated. We are maybe around 2,000 now. Brazil is in the top 3 countries in the planet. We are always side by side with Peru and Colombia. Every time we update the list, so Peru will be the first, and Colombia. And so anyway, we are in the top 3, at least, of the most diverse bird countries in the planet. Talking about endemics, Brazil is in the top. 293 endemics in the country. This is also might be 300 plus today. And All this diversity is because we have a lot of different habitats we call biomes here. So we divided in, you can see in the map, the Caatinga biome is in Northeast Brazil, Cerrado, that comprises the central Brazil, Amazonia, of course, Atlantic forest in the eastern coast, in the south we have the Pampa, and of course the famous Pantanal. So a lot of different habitats, a lot of different areas, and that's why we are a mega biodiversity country. Talking about biodiversity, Brazil is the number one in the planet, biodiversity in general. Okay, next slide, Fabio, please. And here now we are focusing Northeast Brazil. Northeast is the red area in the Brazil map. You can see the Brazil map in the left. And I'm just showing a little bit of the different vegetations in Northeast Brazil. In the other map, we have the green is the Atlantic forest in the coast and also in some areas in the interior of Ceará, Bahia. And the yellow one is the Caatinga, the dry habitat. Cerrado is the orange. And we also have a little bit of the Amazon in the extreme north west. This is the Maranhão state, okay? But in this tour, we will be covering Atlantic forest, Caatinga, and Cerrado. And of course, Atlantic forest is not a single thing. We have different types of Atlantic forest, different type of Cerrado. This will depend on the altitude. Anyway, so it's a lot of different stuff. So next. And talking about the importance of these areas, almost all the areas we are visiting, they are. We are using the bird life important bird areas program. So we see that in the state of Ceará and Bahia, that are the main states we're going to visit, we have a lot of important bird areas. And of course, I think all the areas you are going are considered as important bird areas. Okay, next. And talking about now our tour, the Northeast Popular Tour, we have more or less 600 birds, potential species in the tour. Okay, it's a very good number. In general, we see around 500, a little bit more usually, 109 endemics. That's a lot. 40% of Brazilian endemics are in Northeast Brazil. We usually see around 90% or even more of all the targets. I'm talking about the endemics, okay? So it's a really fantastic tour. Just an overview to have an idea, as I said before, 18 days will be the total of this tour. You will be driving a lot. That's you have to be used. Brazil is a huge country. Northeast Brazil is an enormous area, so we will be driving around 2,500 miles, 4,000 kilometers. Okay, that's a lot, but anyway, you get used, and it's part of this tour, and everybody in the end is okay. You'll be using, when we are going to set departure, we can see a comfortable van. It's a big as a minibus, and when you are going on private tours, we hire cars. All right. Wi-Fi is now everywhere in Brazil. So every place, every restaurant, every hotel, you have Wi-Fi access. The tour, in general, is relatively slow pace and not long walks, not steep areas. Just two or three places that there are some steep trails, but nothing so hard. Okay, so don't worry with this. This will be a very okay tour in terms of physical efforts. The temperatures they can be varied a lot, so you go from 14 to 38, sometimes even more. But that's the average. And one good thing about Brazil, an amazing thing about Brazil that I can tell you is about the food. And as this tour, we have the lot of diverse areas, diverse birds, and we have a lot of diverse food as well, because we are going from the coast to the mountains to the interior, covering several areas, and every area has some special kind of foods, and we'll be visiting the best restaurants. And I like to eat a lot, so I like good food, so I'm sure you'll be in good hands with me. And many of the hotels have very nice breakfast and restaurants. Anyway, this is a place that you will also eat very well. Okay, next. So where do we start this tour? So generally we start from Fortaleza. Fortaleza is the top of the map, and this is the right map. Fortaleza is the capital of the state of Ceará. Fortaleza is my hometown, so I born in Fortaleza. I live in Fortaleza, and there are some flights from Europe and United States, but we always have to check this. And or the best option sometimes is flight to São Paulo or Rio de Janeiro, the biggest cities in Brazil, and then take the connections to Fortaleza. But sometimes you can find some flights from France, from Holland, from Portugal. All right. Anyway, and we always recommend you to arrive at least one day before the tour starts, to get used with the temperature, with the town, to relax, to be 100% to start the tour. All right. Next. The first area we're going, in this left side, you can see the map of the tour, all right? A is Fortaleza. I'm not sure if you can see, but A is Fortaleza. The first place we're going is Icapuí, the B. Icapuí is the east coast of the state of Ceará. It's 200 kilometers more or less from Fortaleza, 2.5 hours driving. And Icapuí is famous now because it's a very important place for migratory birds. So people from US, Canada, you can see your birds here. They migrate to this area, and it's a very important site for red knots. For example, there's a huge population of red knots that use this area to winter. All right. And of course, we are talking about endemics. And the first thing, the main one, will be the little wood rail. It's a bird it's the main target at Icapuí, and of course there will be other things, but little wood rail and mangrove rail, those two we are showing in the slide, are the main targets at Icapuí. That's the start of the tour, and if you have time, of course, you can look after the migratory. There will be a lot a lot for migratory birds to see there as well. Another good thing about Icapuí, I was talking about food. This is the coast, and the lobsters are. This is the place in Ceará where there's a lot of lobster fishing. Okay, so there will be amazing seafood. So it's a very good start to the tour. This area, we'll stay in a very nice hotel in the seafront, and that's the first day, first night, Icapuí. Next. After Icapuí, we go to a completely different area. We drive 240 kilometers, about 3 hours, 3 hours and a half. We're going to Serra de Baturité. Serra de Baturité is a mountain range. It's close to the coast, and because it goes to over 1,000 meters of altitude. So this mountain acts like a barrier from the humidity coming to the coast, and we call it the Atlantic forest of the Ceará. It's green all over the year, so you have a real forest, and this forest is like an island surrounded by the dry vegetation, the caatinga. And at this place, we have several special birds that only survive in this type of habitats. We'll be staying in a very nice place. You can see it's an old house, and they have several rooms, very nice service. It's in the middle of the forest, and they'll be birding in some private areas, in some reserves as well. The first one will be the gray-breasted parakeet reserve. So next slide. The gray-breasted parakeet is one of the main targets of this area. This bird, before I start guiding, I'm a biologist, so I worked for 5 years in the conservation project of the NGO called Aquasis. Is a NGO based in Ceará, and me and some friends, we start the project with gray-breasted parakeet and Araripe Manakin. At this time, 20 years ago, these birds were super rare. There were maybe not more than 50 specimens, 50 birds in the wild. And because of the project that's run by Aquasis, is mainly, especially using the nesting boxes, the population in the last 15 years increased a lot. So you can see a little graphic showing the population going up a lot. So in the last years, the blue graphic show the work that showing this project is being a success. So today the population is maybe 2,000 birds or even more. And you can see the map of distribution of the parakeets. Just a spot in state of Ceará. Serra de Baturité is the main area, and there's a recent population that was found in the coast of the state of Bahia, which it was a big surprise. And this population is still under study. We are trying to understand why these birds are there as well, including doing some genetic analysis. Maybe it's a different species. Who knows? But this is the main target. One of the main targets at Serra de Baturité. We will see for sure. Today is you can see that's guaranteed. It's an amazing bird. It's a very nice story behind it. A conservation project that's being a success. Okay, next. And this mountain range is very special, Serra de Baturité, because it was in the past, Amazonia and Atlantic forest, they were together at some stage. And this mountain range, as I mentioned, it's a kind of island of humidity. It's a proof that those populations of animals, plants, they were together at some point. As an example, we can see the isolated population from the Atlantic forest of the red-necked tanager. It's a subspecies in Baturité. You can see some blue in the rump. So this is a probably split in the future. The Ceará net eater, until very recently, was a subspecies of the Rufous net eater, and now is considered a full species, endemic to the northeast Brazil. It's a common bird at Serra de Baturité. We also consider this very interesting isolated population of the gold's toucanet. If you see the map, it's a spot in the Serra de Baturité and then in the Amazon. So it's far away and it's natural. It's not doing the deforestation. It's just natural. It's surrounded by the caatinga today. And another interesting case that I can mention is the short-tailed antrush. The population, the distribution of short-tailed antrush is crazy in South America. So in Brazil, we have this population in the Serra de Baturité, another population in Alagoas, and then Bahia and the Southeast Brazil. The voice of this bird in Baturité is very different, and this might be another new species to science to be described soon. I'm just mentioning a few cases. There are more and more. But just to have an idea of how important and how interesting is this area. Okay, next, please. There will be more things to see at Baturité, but then I have to try to do it short, okay? I'm just mentioning a few, mainly the most important things. After Baturité, we change completely the habitat. It's only 2 hours drive, 110 kilometers, and there will be completely different habitat. We're going to start with the caatinga, the dry vegetation. There are 2 photos in the right bottom showing the vegetation during the dry season and during the rainy season. So most of the year is dry, and we have 4 months of rainy season, and it's super dry, and the vegetation goes to brown, 0 leaves to green. And it's the land of interesting birds. And we can see the restaurant of the place in the rocks. And on these rocks, we will see one of the main targets of this place that we will see the next slide. Next slide, please, Fabio. Okay, in the left, we have the pygmy nightjar, endemic to the caatinga. It occurs only on these outcrops with cactus, very dry. This will be exactly just in front of the restaurant of the place we're staying, okay? And the other one is a white-browed guan. It's another endemic from northeast, endemic from the caatinga habitat. Until very recently, this bird was super rare. And now, because there are some areas that are protected, there's no hunting allowed, the population are growing. In Quixadá, this place we stay in the hotel, isolated hotel in the forest. There, the population during the last, I don't know, 5-6 years is increasing a lot. So we have a super good chance to see the white-browed one. All right, next. And as I was saying, we started with the caatinga. So white-naped jay, ochreback woodpecker, red-called cardinal, cactus parakeet. So we started with a new set of birds. And they are relatively common, widespread in Northeast Brazil, but they will be the first contact. And all those birds are very, very nice. And they will be around the hotel we are staying, so in the gardens. Okay, next. After Quixadá, we will have a long drive of 5 hours. It's about 350 kilometers. We're going from the D to the E, so we're going to the south of the Ceará state, and we will start our journey to Chapada Diamantina. We will stay in a place called Sítio Pau Preto, in the town of Potengi. Sítio Pau Preto, it's very nice. It's a very, very nice place, again, in the middle of the forest. It's a place that's owned by a family. So they are very good friends, Bob and Ivete. It's mother and son. Bob is also a local guide, bird guide, and it's a long story, but we are very close friends. We from Brazil Birding Expert and Bob and Ivete family, and it's a pleasure to be there. You feel like at home, and they will be cooking for us. So birds around, there will be feeders. So it's a very, very nice place, and there will be lots of very good caatinga endemics in this area. Next slide. Just to have an idea, a photo of the feeders and two of the very nice birds. So we have lots of good photo opportunities for photographers. It's a paradise. Red-called cardinal and campo trupial. This photo I took on this tour that I'm doing right now, about 10 days ago. So a lot of cardinals and trupials together coming to the feeders. There will be more and more birds, white-naped jay, gray pileated finch, saffron finch. It's very nice. Cactus parakeet. So it's a very, very, very good place for photographers as well, right? Next. And of course, let's talk about the super good endemics. Those two are my favorites in the caatinga area. White-browed Antpitta and great cynops. This will be 15-minute drive from the place we're staying, from Sítio Pau Preto. That's an area that's also private owned, is protected. And the owner is a birder, and he's very happy to open the place for us to go there. And this is a very nice place to see those two and many more. Next place, next slide, please. As red-shouldered spine-tail, silver-cheeked, and trike. So, yeah, very good birds. So we start with this Ciro caatinga birding. Very, very nice place to all those good stuff. Next. And, of course, now, Araripe Manakin is maybe it's always in the top 5, top 10 birds of the tour. For me, it's a very special bird. I also work in the project since the beginning, Araripe Manakin Conservation Project that started 20 years ago, more than this even. 25 years ago, actually, sorry. And I was there in the beginning. So it's part of my life, this bird. And that's how it starts for me. I mean, everybody wants to come to Brazil. Araripe Manakin was in the top list, top priority. You can see the map of the distribution, just a spot in the south of Ceará state. The bird population is around 1,000, and it lives in a very, very small area. It's a very special area in the foothills of the plateau of Chapada Diamantina. So we will see this bird once you arrive in the area. They will be there, but it's a very special moment of the tour, and it's an amazing, it's unforgettable for sure. It's hard to believe how a so special bird was so long there, and was only described to science in 1998. So it's a crazy story. I can tell the story during the tour, how the story of the discovery. I'm a very good friend of Weber, which is one of the guys who found the bird. We work together. We're still very good friends, and it's for sure one of the highlights of this tour. All right, Araripe Manakin is amazing. In the next slide, you see a little video showing some Araripe Manakin behavior. It's a bird that lives near water. You can play, Fabio. The bird lives near water, but we are talking about the caatinga, so which is a dry area. But in this area, there are lots of springs. Just in the narrow area, this is where this bird lives. That's a male. It loves to take showers, so in a special moment of the day, it goes to the water. And it's a short video. Let's see until the end. Again, it was during the rain. It's an amazing bird. It's really, really, really nice. All right. So next slide. As I'm saying, this tour is amazing. Every day we have an amazing bird. Every day, I'm serious. After the Manakin, we drive 370 kilometers, about 6 hours, and we're going to cross the state of Pernambuco, and we're arriving on the G in the map. Now we start in the Bahia state. Bahia is an enormous state, and the first step will be here at Canudos, the Indigo or Lear's Macaw Reserve. We're staying inside the reserve, okay, facing the cliffs where the macaws live. And I used to say that this is not this is a super special moment. I used to say that's the Lear's Macaw experience. So next slide, Fabio. Indigo Macaw experience. You can see some images of the place we're staying, the reserve, two images. The macaws, they are very special. They're very restricted because they need the cliffs to roost and to breed. The nests are inside the cliffs, okay? And they need the licuri palm. You can see the image in the middle. This is a palm tree that's endemic for the caatinga as well. And this bird needs this combination, the licuri palm, that's the main source of food for the macaws, and the cliffs together to survive. And that's why the distribution is so restricted, all right? And we're going to, in the top image, we have some birds on the cliffs watching the macaws, which is an amazing experience. Next video, we have a little idea. This is in the beginning of the morning. They like to sit on some cactus before leave, because they roost there in the. You can play the video, okay, Fabio? Yeah, they roost in this area. So early morning we'll be arriving there before sunrise, dark. So you can. That's a full experience. We hear the macaws calling, and they start flying around in the dark, and they start sitting in the cactus all together. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 16. And they will be, so the sun is coming. And when the sun is out, that's the next step. We're going to the cliffs, and sometimes we see things like this. Lots of macaws walking around, playing. Anyway, it's a really, really amazing experience. And while we are there, you can see them fly in front of us. The calls are very strong, so it's a full experience. So that's a really another real special moment of this tour. Macaws are the main targets in this area. There will be, of course, other things as well, but macaws are the main targets. And then after the experience, we go back to the reserve. There will be a very, very nice breakfast waiting for us. We have breakfast around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and then another long drive to another very special area. Cool. Next, Fabio. This is another super special area, Chapada Diamantina. Lençóis is the town of we're staying. It's a long drive, okay, 8 hours. It's tired. It's not so good, but it will worth because the place is again another amazing place. Lençóis is a very nice town, and next very nice town in the middle of the mountains. It's not in vain that I lived in Lençóis for 2 years. I still have a house there. It's a very special place, very special. And there is a national park, a huge national park in the area with 1,052 hectares. It's very big, comprising lots of habitats. In Lençóis, it's a very nice area. Just a little idea. That's a very interesting nightlife in the town. It's a very touristic area. People go for hiking. There's a lot of waterfalls. It's a beautiful place. So a lot of tourists from all over the world goes to Lençóis, mainly for hikings and waterfalls. There are hundreds of waterfalls and beautiful areas to visit. All right. And we're staying in the very nice hotel. Everybody says that in this hotel in Lençóis that we're staying, that's the best breakfast of the tour, maybe the best breakfast of the world. I'm serious, it's fantastic breakfast. In Lençóis, there is a lot of endemic stuff for those who likes plants. There will be a lot of bromeliads, a lot of orchids, super endemic because you're talking about a mountain range isolated and super big and goes over 2,000 meters of altitude. And talking about birds, I'm showing this rainbow there. In the end of the rainbow, there is a pot of gold. That's what we say in Brazil. In this case, not gold, but it's a super special bird. So you can go for the next slide. And that's what we find at the end of the rainbow, the hooded visorbeer. For me, that's the most amazing hummingbird. And this is endemic to this mountain range, to the Chapada Diamantina, to the Espinhaço mountain range. It's a link of mountains that start in Minas Gerais, and there's a break between Minas Gerais and Bahia, and again the mountain we call it Espinhaço. And Chapada Diamantina is part of this mountain range. Chapada Diamantina is the best place to this hooded visorbeer. It's a super nice hummingbird, endemic to the Bahia state. All right. And this is the gold for me. I have a tattoo of this bird in my arm. And okay, this is just a video about the bird. You can play this video, Fabio, just have an idea of how fantastic. So you can see the rainbow in the tie, and it keeps changing the colors. It's really, really special. And yeah, hooded visorbeer, welcome. Next. Of course, that's not only the hooded visorbeer. There will be more endemics. Those two birds, Cincora entruen on the left and Diamantina tapaculo, are endemics. Again, you can see the map, just a spot in the Chapada Diamantina. So I used to say super endemics. They are only in this mountain, all right? And another super target for us. And relatively common, so we usually will see them very well. Next. Another an amazing thing about Chapada Diamantina that we have a lot of different habitats. rocky outcrops where the hooded bear lives, cerrado areas, caatinga, and Atlantic forest as well. It depends of where you are, the altitude. So you'll be visiting all those areas, all right? And there's during the day we can see sometimes, I don't know, eight almost 100 birds if you have a super big day in the area. It's really nice place to visit, and I think we spent 3 nights it because that's so many good things. All right, next. Just to have an idea, you can see the San Francisco sparrow, which is a caatinga endemic, the helmeted manakin, which is a cerrado endemic, and gilt-edged tanager, which is an Atlantic forest endemic, and I forgot the name. What? Invernaga longicauda. Huh? I'm missing the English name at the moment, but this is a bird that's endemic to the outcrops. All right. For some reason, I'm just missing the English name. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Next. And Chapada Diamantina is an amazing place for hummingbirds in general, not only the bear, especially during it's a short period, January to March. Usually, there's a fruit. This flower is a caliandra. It's this time of the year the flower, this caliandra will be blooming, and lots of hummingbirds, lots of hooded bear, horned sunjay, ruby topaz. There will be at least 10 species around these areas. It's an amazing experience. Sadly, it's not all over the year, but if you are a hummingbird lover, try to come during this period because there is a spectacular moment. Okay, and in the bottom right, you have the brown violet ear, and this is a population which is isolated in Brazil to the Chapada Diamantina, and then it occurs in the Andes. So it's a crazy population, completely isolated, maybe another new species. Sadly, unfortunately, it's not so easy to see this bird at Chapada Diamantina because it do like a local migration. So during the part of the year, it goes to some areas that are really hard to access if you are not prepared to do some long hikes. But anyway, you have a lot of hummingbirds and species in these areas. It's just an amazing place. Next. So next stop, we're going to Boa Nova, which is very famous among the birders. It's 400 kilometers, 6 hours drive. And Boa Nova, they call themselves as bird paradise. It's very nice today to see that one of the main targets, let's say, becomes the symbol of the town, the slender antbird. Again, it's a place with different types of habitat. You have caatinga, the Mata de Cipó, which is the transitional area between caatinga and Atlantic forest, and the super Atlantic forest. So this place is home for plus 435 bird species. It's crazy. It's another amazing area. And of course, we have another superstar, which is the next slide. The slender antbird. Slender antbird only occurs in this transitional area we call Mata de Cipó. The translation for English will be liana forest. And it depends on those ground bromeliads. There are huge ground bromeliads, lots of ground bromeliads in this area, on this Mata de Cipó, this liana forest. And the slender antbirds roost, breed, look for food on this. So he's 100% dependent on those ground bromeliads. And that's why the Portuguese name of the bird is gravatazeiro. Gravata is the Portuguese name for the bromelia. Gravata, so the slender bird in Portuguese is gravatazeiro because it really have they have to live together. And this bird end up becoming a symbol of the area. You can see some. There's a local football team called Gravatazeiro, and you can buy some Gravatazeiro doing by local artists. And this was the main reason of the creation of a national park in Boa Nova. So the bird was so special. The area is so special that the Brazilian, especially because of the work of the NGO Save Brazil, which was a BirdLife International partner in the beginning, they have a long study in the area that end up creating a national park. So it's another very nice story about conservation. So this bird is a super symbol of this Boa Nova area. Next. And of course, Boa Nova is not the only, that's a video of this slender bird on the bromeliads, okay? You can have an idea. That's a male. I think there's no audio, but it was calling. I can't hear from here at least. But anyway, this is a slender antbird. And today, in the beginning, I mean, 10 years, 15 years ago, we had to go to the forest to look for this bird. It's common in the area, but today there's a place that we're talking right now, this hummingbird garden. This hummingbird garden in Boa Nova is also very famous. It's an outcrop full of those ground cactus. And in the end of the day, after 3 o'clock, the flowers will bloom, okay? And lots of hummingbirds come to feed on those flowers, on this cactus. Lots of hummingbirds. And this is natural, right? But this place was private, owned by some locals from Boa Nova, and this area starts to be mining. They are mining to build pavement. So coincidentally or not, I was guiding 2 Brazilians. The next slide, please. I was guiding 2 Brazilians. You can see them in the right side of the slide. Marcos and Esther. They are bird watchers. They are Brazilian from Alagoas State. And they were birding with me there about, 10 years ago. And I took them to this place. And they get in love with the place. And they were very worried seeing the place being destroyed. And they end up buying that area. And they just kept the area there protected. They stopped mining, there was cattle inside, and the place was fully protected. And during the pandemic, they are builders. They have a big company in Brazil that builds big things, and they just moved to the area because they have they couldn't work during the pandemic, so they went to Boa Nova, and they start a project they call Lajeado dos Beija-Flores. They kept the area of the cactus intact, and they build a hummingbird garden. All right, and you can play the video, Fabio, in this hummingbirds. There's a link for a video. Yes, there. You can have that's during the certain time of the year there will be literally hundreds of ruby topaz hummingbird, which is an amazing hummingbird. And there are several other species, striped-breasted starthroat, sapphire spangled emerald, including hook-billed hermit, which is a super rare bird. It's not always there, hook-billed hermit, but there's a good chance. And then they start feeding lots of things, including the slender antbird. That's a female. You can see the female was slender antbird, and it was coming to feed on mealworms. So it's amazing. You see slender antbird, and that's a general idea of people watching the birds. Another video. So you have the hummingbirds, and in the back we have fruits with lots of also caatinga birds coming, cactus, parakeet, campo tropial. And this place is amazing. We spend a full morning there, sometimes a full day if you are a photographer, and there will be a lot of activity during all over the day. Lots of good birds. For a photographer, this is a paradise. All right, next. Just a video of the superstar, the rubitopus. That's another, you can play there. There will be sometimes 40 males of rubitopus around. So that's a place that for photographers, it's magic, really magic, because this bird is really, really nice. And they will be around on the feeders, sitting. Anyway, it's another paradise for bird photographers. All right, next. We're still in Boa Nova, and we change the habitat. We have the Atlantic forest of Boa Nova, which is about 15 minutes drive. So you leave the dry areas of there's a caatinga in this transitional area in the Atlantic forest. They are very close. It's just divided by a mountain, Ouricana mountain range. And there will be a lot of good stuff in this forest as well. Next. Just a few examples. Bahia, spine-tail, another endemic, striated soft-tail, pintail manakin, the giant snipe, and a lot more, okay? A lot. We're talking about at least 100 super important birds in this area. It's very, really, really nice birding. Next. And about half an hour drive from Boa Nova, there's a place called Poções. And in this place, this guy, which is in my side, Mateus, he's another birder. He starts very young, about, I don't know, 10, not 10, 5, 6 years ago. He was a kid, 15 years old, 14 years old. And he used to go to the forest with his father. His father was a hunter. And then he used to go with his father. He hates hunt, but he was going to the forest to watch the nature. Okay, and he ended up becoming a super birder. And Mateus found lots of good birds. White-browed Manakin was lost in Bahia for more than 30 years, and Mateus was the guy who found it. That's a rhizos taranulet, which is another rarity in Bahia. Mateus was the first one to found this rhizos taranulet in Bahia. And Poções is probably the best place to see yet undescribed species to science, which is the undescribed tree hunter we call Bahia or Serra Bonita tree hunter. And Poções is the best place to try this bird. And there are many others. Mateus never stops. So three-toed jacamar. There are lots of varieties. So I call Poções the land of the varieties, because Mateus is always finding new things and sharing with us. And we always use him as a local guide. He's a very good company. Now he's 22 and he's a biologist now. He's a man, and he will start guiding tours with us as well. So that's another very nice story of a person that starts very, very early, very young, and now he's with us soon. Okay, next. After Poções, we go to the coast. We're back to the coast. We're going to Itacaré, which is a very famous beach in Brazil. It's famous for surf, okay? And there will be beautiful beaches. There are waterfalls near the coast. It's a very touristic area. They have amazing restaurants. Again, you'll be having very nice seafood if you like. And there's a lot of forest in this area, mainly because of the cacao, the chocolate. Yes, the cacao, the tree. Because in this area, they plant the cacao in the shade of the forest. So cacao was it is still very important to save the forest. And there is a very nice state park called Conduru, which is huge. It's more than 10,000 hectares that will be visited as well. There will be lots of good birds in Itacaré, lots of Atlantic forest birds, but the main thing there will be a super rare, maybe one of the most difficult ones on this tour. The next, Fabio, please. Next slide, which is the Bahia Tapaculo. This is not guaranteed, I'm sorry. But we see this bird 70-80% of the visit, but this is really hard. It lives in deep gullies with dark forest, humid areas, and for some reason it's super rare. But we have let's say a good chance. We will give a super effort to try to see this bird. But sadly, is the population seems to be decreasing. I would say that's less than 50 birds still around. And this is the place to try, and we will try. You can see in the map just a little spots there in this area. One of the rarest bird of this tour. All right, but we will try. Next, Itacaré. As I say, there will be lots of more good things. Is the Manakin's paradise? At least 5 species of manakins, and those are, let's say, easy. We will end up seeing, I think, the most special one is the striped manakin, eastern striped manakin, kinglet manakin now is the name, the bottom on the right, kinglet manakin. It's a really nice one, and it's relatively common in this area. Again, for photographers, you have a very good chance to photograph these birds very well because they are quite common in this area. All right, next. After Itacaré, we will be driving 3 hours to the place where I am right now. I am right now in Serra Bonita Reserve. I love this place. I lived here for 3 months doing some research for the people from the reserve. We stay in the middle of the forest. If you look with calm, you can see a little roof, 2 roofs in this image of the top. I'm yes, I'm here right now in this place. I'm talking from this area, this place. We are in the middle of a fantastic forest. It's a mountain range that goes for 200 meters in the bottom, to almost 1,000 meters. So there's a lot of diversity of birds, and it changes a lot from the lowlands to the mountains. We're talking again about more than 400 bird species and a lot of super special ones. So next. And this place is a private reserve. It's we call it Reservoir Serra Bonita. And here because this man, Vito Becker, I have to talk a little bit about this guy because he's fantastic. He's a researcher. He's an entomologist specialized in moths. For his entire life, he was doing research, traveling around Brazil, collecting moths, studying moths, and he came here to this mountain and he found fantastic species. And he was being in Amazon and Cerrado in many areas, and he was noticing that most of the areas that he was visiting, he visited for 30 years ago, they were disappearing. So the Cerrado near Brasília are gone. The Atlantic Forest in Pernambuco and Alagoas, he have been there 40 years ago, it's gone. And so he was starting to get depressed. Well, what am I doing in my life? I'm just doing this, so I have to do something to protect some place. So he decided to take all his money, all his reserves, and put together to try to protect an area. And he made it. Now we are these reserves here because Victor he lives here. I was with him a few hours ago at lunchtime, and he's amazing. He's an amazing story, and he has fantastic forest with amazing animals. And let's talk about some of them. Next slide. Pink leg graveteiro is a super restricted range, super special, was described early in the 90s. Is a unique genus, Acrobatornis. It's alone. It's restricted to these lowland areas, and Serra Bonita and the surrounding areas are very important for this bird. Today, we have found a few nests along the route from Itacaré to Serra Bonita. So most of the times we are finding them along this route. We have some nests because they have the nest, they use the nest all over the year, not only to roost, but not only to breed, but they also roost in the nest every night. So they keep some nests around. So if you find a nest, you have the nucleus, the center of territory. So we have a few territories already mapped. But Serra Bonita is a super important place to the conservation of this rare bird. All right, next. Another very interesting case of isolated populations. You can see in Brazil, this bird only occurs in a few mountains in southern Bahia and Espírito Santo state, and the other populations you'll be again in the mountains of the Andes. So of course, this is another new species to science to be described, to be split, and they are very common here at Serra Bonita. So this is a super important place to protect this population that will be soon split as Atlantic rufous brown solitaire. Okay, next. Another, this is a critically endangered species, banded caatinga, one of the most wanted birds for any birders visiting Northeast Brazil. And today, Serra Bonita Reserve, the lowlands, is for sure the most important place, the best place to try for this bird. They planted this fruit is acai palm. Acai is from the Amazon, but they brought this to Bahia to this region, and they planted acai because acai is a commercial fruit in Brazil, and the birds love it. It's very important for several birds. All right, and in the lowlands of Serra Bonita, there are some acai areas where if the acai is fruiting, is ripe, there will be a super high chance to see the banded caatinga. All right, you can see in this little in the corner in the right bottom several banded caatingas. This was all those photos were taken the same day. I was very lucky this day. So I saw 6 different individuals of banded caatinga. It's not guaranteed again because it's a super rare bird. They don't sing, they don't call. You have to find them. But if the acai is fruiting, the chances will be very high. Next. Just an idea of what we see when we found the caatingas feeding on the acai. That's a video. It's a male. Come on, baby. Oops. It usually grabs 4 or 5 fruits, and then it will fly and it will perch in a tree nearby, and you stay there without moving for half an hour, just digesting and then they regurgitate the seeds. So when the acai is there, the chances to see banded caatinga is super high. It's an amazing bird, super rare, super endemic. Next, and here, just I'm I'm here right now. We have feeders with all those beautiful tenors, spot-billed toucanet, lots of good stuff coming to these feeders. So again, for photographers, it's a paradise. Next. There's a video that I took this morning. This was this morning, those 2 videos. So the left one is my client. And yeah, so we were there. He was asking me, Ciro, what's the chance to see the spot-billed toucanet? Well, let's see, let's try. And this was taken this morning. The spot-billed toucanet coming to the feeder. And in the right is also a video, Fab. You can also play. This is what we get. Yeah. Couldn't be better. All right. Spot-billed toucanet, very close. And there will be many other birds coming. All right, next. We're getting there now. Next, Flavio. not many areas in the Atlantic forest today have harpy eagles. It's a super, super rare bird in the Atlantic forest, and Serra Bonita is one of these places where we can see harpy eagle. This was a big nest. Unfortunately, this tree falls down, so we missed this nest. But they're still around. Sometimes the guards they found a bird here or there, and I was lucky enough to see this. This is the bird. I saw it since it was a little chick to a big female. It's a little video of this chick, but yeah, it's just to you have an idea of how amazing is this place, because harpy eagle is a top bird and it only occurs in very, very good areas. So this is a super special area, Serra Bonita. Next. After Serra Bonita, we drive 200 kilometers to our last destination. We are in the mountains here, so we will be again in the lowlands and the coast, into another very nice reserve. Estação Veracel is a reserve with 7,000 hectares. It's another place which is amazing. Harpy eagles are also there. They have jaguars there, which is amazing. Talking about the Atlantic forest today, it's a lowland area, and also you have chances to see again the banded caatinga. It's not so easy. It's never easy actually, but we have two chances to see this bird here at Serra Bonita and then in Veracel, and many other lowland birds. So you can see the next slide, just to have an idea. White-winged caatinga, that's for far the best place to see. We probably will see white-winged caatinga. The chances are really, really good. But in comparison, just to have an idea, what I used to say to the clients is you have to find at least 5 white-winged caatingas to see one banded, or even more. So white-wing is way more common than banded, at least at Veracel. But yes, we have a very good chance to see white-wing and many, many other things. Just next slide. I haven't shown many parrots, but there will be lots of fantastic parrots on this tour. Ochromark parakeet is the one on the right. We have also white-ear parakeet, lots of very good endemics, the two parrotlets, brown-back parrotlet, sometimes golden tail parrotlet. There will be lots of super endemics and super rare things. Red-billed parrot is the other one. That's a good one at Veracel. So this tour in general is very good for parrots and very nice ones, okay? And Veracel is a very good place for those very nice endemic parrots. Next. And this is perhaps the best place as well for hookbill hermit, which is one of the rarest hummingbirds from Brazil, actually. Sometimes it goes to the Boa Nova feeders, but not always. But in the Veracel, they are quite common. So birding along the forest, they used to respond very well to tape. So the chances to see hookbill hermit there is very good. And again, Bahia Entren is another good bird at Veracel. Soretaman's lady and trike. There will be several things to see there. Next. And they also have some good night birding. And the main challenge there is this Atlantic population of white-winged potu, which is another very rare bird, but we have, let's say, good chances to see one at Veracel. It's a population isolated from the ones in the Amazon. There are some people studying. Maybe it's a new species for science, maybe not. But anyway, we will be trying for this one. And night birding at Veracel is nice. We end up seeing the black-capped screech-owl. This is quite common. So common putu. Not spectacle owl. The tawny brown owl is also a good one there. So there will be good night birdings. I think that's the last one. The next slide. This is the same day we saw this bird. Was very good. An idea of when we find the white-winged potu, which is a magic. And night birds are magic. They are hard. They're never easy. That's a video. I think you can play. Ooh, it was dark, but then, come on, let's go. So when we see this bird, is a very nice way to finish this tour. All right, I think that's the last slide. Maybe we can go to the next one, Fabio. Yes, that's the last one. So an hour. Okay, that was good. I think that's it. I could talk maybe an hour about all of these places of Boa Nova and Serra Bonita, because there are many more birds and things to show of each one of those places. And this is a really, really amazing tour. And with I'm suspect to talk about this tour because I really, really love it. Okay, and I really love Northeast Brazil. So that's it. Thank you very much. I'm happy to present this. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have a little idea of this area, which is super. If I have forgot something, Caio, please let me know, because there's too many things to show here, and sometimes we end up forgetting. Okay?
No, it's good, but it's funny because watching you see how interesting the Northeast is, but I think you only know after you visit,
Yeah.
because it's so you mentioned the long drives, but it's funny because everybody that comes on this trip and sees the distance,
Oh
600
my
kilometers, like,
God.
oh my God. But it's on the same day that you see the Lear's Macaw in the morning, and
Yeah.
then you transfer, and on the way you have a strategic stop to see the pectoral
Pectoral
antler,
intro. Yeah, there will be.
which is a super endemic, super
Yeah,
target.
there are
And
too
then
many
so
super targets.
they kind of there's always a very special bird, a very special target. And what people usually say a lot is, so Ciro mentioned in his first slides and then stopped mentioning it, but the food, right?
Yeah,
Everywhere.
every
it's
day.
it's
That's
delicious food. It's
that's a problem, because we end up gain weight in the at the end of the tour. We walk a lot, but you eat. It's so good. So
Yeah,
it's so
it's
hard
one
to
of
do.
the biggest complaints, né? The
Yeah,
people gaining weight.
that's
Yeah.
that's true. It's unusual, but it's true.
and and it's funny, and there's just so many stories involved that would need, full presentations on this, like just your whole story with the discovery of that Araripe Manakin, the conservation projects and the beginning, with Weber and everything like that. And
That's
at
true.
least with me, with the Lear's Macaw, it was the reason I started guiding, right? It was the first time I went there with two, I think, Japanese photographers, and it was the time of year. I think is it July that they all fly out at the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time?
yeah, yeah,
And then 200, 300 macaws flying. And the guy that went to take pictures, he just let go of his camera, like, and
yeah.
stayed. And then everybody cried. So it's these moments that, to believe it, you have to witness it. And I don't know. So you never know who is watching, but I know some people that are watching are signed up for the tours that are going to run this year and the
Mm,
next. Um, but for those of you that are going to watch recordings afterward, we still have 2 spaces available in our second edition for this year,
okay.
and quite a few spaces still for a third departure, which is
This is December.
basically, there's one, both of them begin in November, but
Okay.
with 7 days apart. So if you guys want to check the website, there's still a few spots on the tour this year.
Excellent.
And Ciro, there was a question from Stephen about. Let me see if I can show it to you. Can you read there? Can you see?
Another miniaturize. That's blue white ground of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. uh, what we know that the area is probably open again in 2 years. That's the what we know officially. But someone was saying that there will be a meeting with some guides and the NGO Sabe Brazil to discuss again about. I don't know about the strategies, the situation. We know that these birds are really sensible, and we need to they are doing what they can do. I think they catch some birds to breed in captivity. They want to bring them back to increase the population, because the population is no more than 20 birds, so it's really really low. Anyway, we have to wait and respect the decision of the people there. There are other areas in Minas Gerais with some good birds as mustache wood creeper, Minas Gerais taranullet, a lot of stuff. But for the blue white ground dove, we have to wait the decision of the owners of the reserve. That's, of course, as soon as we have some new, we will let people know.
So another question. Speaking of mustache wood creeper.
Yes, in Sobral, northern, and recently I went to a different area during the big day. We did a big day in Brazil, in Varjota, which is also not far from Sobral. We can, I don't know if this is not in the set departure tour, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure but we can do in private tours to um, uh, go there to Sobral to see this, to try this wood creeper.
And
It's
and
possible to
in
include, but
and
I'm not sure if it is in the. I'm not, it's not in the set departure at the moment.
no, Sobral and Varjota, no.
No, yeah,
Because the mustached wood creeper is very easily seen in
in
northern
Minas
Minas
Gerais,
Gerais,
yes, super
which was
easy.
a which was a
Yeah,
pre-tour, and
that's that was the reason. Yeah,
it was a very last minute
yeah, the change.
news about closing the reserve.
Yes.
Um, and Ciro, you mentioned something about the Lajedo dos Beija-Flores, saying, "Oh, it's very good for photographers." But it's funny because I took a group there last time, and I think there was one photographer and two non-photographers,
Uh huh.
and the ones that wanted to stay more were the
Really,
ones that were not taking photos. Like, oh my God, this is so fun because it's so
it
many
is.
birds
It's so many
and
birds.
it's
And I went
very
there. I was there 3 days ago, and now they have the barred and shrike, the caatinga barred and shrike coming to the mealworms. They have the rufous winged and shrike coming as well. The silver
oh.
cheeked and shrike coming. The blended ant birds. So it's it's been a and
Tem o Planalto, Slady
Ronaldo,
also.
yes, sometimes,
É,
but
é.
yeah, it's about 6 pieces, a great intrigue. So it's a lot of intrigues coming, and I knew that they found a spot for the white-browed Antpitta, and soon they will try to also have the Antpitta come. So yeah,
Oh,
you never stop. Yeah, it's getting better all the time. It's
very
very
good,
nice.
very good.
Yeah, huh?
É, né?
I have right now, right here, Plumuzet video calling. It's
Ah,
right here. It's a super difficult, super rare bird calling right here because I am in the forest. So see, my that's my garden at the
nice.
not five, it's 5 meters from here. Very
Serra
funny.
Bonita.
Serra Bonita, crazy in the room. So for the room, Plumuzet video,
Very
amazing.
good.
It's crazy. Yeah,
So, Ciro, I think that's about it. I
yeah,
can't see any more questions, but very good presentation, and
yes. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah,
The
and come on.
next live will be in September about Espírito Santo and Minas Gerais.
That will be
So
you.
land, yeah,
Good with
land of
Caio Brito. El Patron. Good. Very nice.
yeah. So we'll keep everyone posted, and thank you
Excellent.
all for watching and hanging out with us. And I hope to see you soon,
Okay.
birding in Brazil.
Uhul. Nice. Thank you very much.
Valeu, Cirão. É
Valeu,
nóis.
compadre. É nóis.